This is my 8-month-old Border Collie Malinois mix named Steve, and in this training session I'm working on one of his triggers for reactive behavior, which is barking and lunging while he's on leash. Small children in particular seem to be particularly worrisome for him. So you can see initially I can redirect him pretty easily. He barks, then he turns around to me, he's able to take treats. Here, there's a toddler in the background running towards us, which elicits a pretty big response. As I'm moving him away to get as much distance between that child and him as possible to try to calm him down, we actually turned and there was a dog behind us. So I moved to the other side of the table. Here I'm holding his collar close to me, trying to redirect his head. I can do that with this particular dog. He's my dog. I understand his triggers, what he will tolerate, what he won't tolerate. So I felt safe to do that. Once I was able to get him calmed down, we worked ourselves back to the front side of the table. And as you can see, he's still pretty worked up. His body posture is stiff. He's looking around. Tail is stiff. He's checking things out. I'm not getting a lot of focus or attention from him. He's pretty stuck in his environment. So start doing a little bit of movement around to see if I can get his focus back. There's a lot going on the direction that he's facing. There's a lot of people movement, lots of sounds, airplanes, things like that. Here he is able to finally turn around, focus on me, do some hand touches, and is settled back down to a point where we can continue our training. In this clip, I'm playing with Steve in an attempt to put his brain back in a little bit better place. He does have a stronger toy drive than he does a food drive, and we moved away from the distractions as much as possible. As you can hear in the background, there are some people close by, and he does bark, but he actually barks through the toy and thankfully stays engaged with the toy during this session. Now that I can see that Steve is able to engage in a toy in this environment, we move closer to where the initial distractions were. In addition to the children, there's actually a dog in the background that was barking a couple times at Steve. Again, you'll hear Steve redirect. He'll bark, but he's able to engage back on the toy pretty quickly, which is fantastic. His tug drive has developed significantly over the last couple of months, and so it is definitely a reward that I'm able to utilize in his training. He seems to be better in uncomfortable situations when he has a toy. Our tug games are very structured. You'll see here shortly that he actually bites me instead of the toy. That's a separate training situation where we are working on getting him to target the toy. He gets a little too excited and just bites whatever's in front of him. Once he comes in contact with me, the game is then over. Overall, I thought we made some great progress with this training session. It was a total of about 30 minutes through the whole process, and Steve did great. There is definitely room for improvement on certain aspects, and looking back on what I think I might do next time is start with a toy rather than food and see if I can transition him from the toy to food and see how that works for him. Hopefully this helps you guys that are dealing with reactive dogs to actually see the trainer work with their own dog and what we deal with our own animals. I know a lot of people have a misconception that as dog trainers, we must have perfect dogs, and as you can see, that is definitely not the case. But I am super happy with where this dog is, and he is definitely a different dog for me than what I've had in the past. And I look forward to our training journey together. Thanks so much for watching.